Hello and welcome to Sweep TV. The purpose of this video is to answer the number one question asked by landlords as to where they stand with regard to chimney sweeping and solid fuel appliances. There are a few points, so to answer them, starting firstly with the appliance itself, be it your open fire, multi-fuel stove, wood burning stove, to make sure that that is installed correctly. For a solid fuel appliance, there are two routes, one is to make sure it was done by a HETAS approved installer, or to get it signed off by building control. So check that that's done, that's your first port of call. Second thing, which is really part of the installation, is to ensure there are adequate carbon monoxide alarms and that they're working in the premises. Again, that's landlord's responsibility. So make sure they're there. I won't go into too much detail on that because there are other videos on the sweeping frequency, carbon monoxide alarms, maintenance, all this kind of thing on the Master Sweep TV. So just check that out and that should answer all those questions. So moving on is the sweeping. Now this is the key part because obviously it's vitally important that it's done and done properly. And the question is who's responsible? Ultimately it is the landlord. Now quite often landlords will write into their tenancy agreement that the tenant is to get the chimney swept at the recommended intervals. However, should the tenant not do that, then responsibility falls squarely with the landlord if there is a problem, if anything goes wrong. So it's quite a nasty one to get caught out on. The second thing is, even if they do get it swept, the chances are they're going to use the cheapest sweep they can find, who won't be certified, won't be properly qualified. So really, to my mind, it's just not good practice to do it that way. I would say treat it like you do your gas safe certificate or your electricity certificate. So arrange it yourself, use a fully qualified person, get the right certificate and fulfill all your landlord's obligations. Then that takes any questions out of it, any possible problems. So you just know you're covered. And for the sake of saving a few quid each year, it's just not really worth doing. There are other things that are beneficial, because remember, none of this should be taken lightly. And it's best practice to do everything you can to avoid a worst case scenario, and that includes other maintenance items. So it's not simply a case of shoving a brush up a chimney. For example, if you call the master sweep, then when we come out we will check the stove, all the ropes, the seals, the ongoing things that can cause problems. So all of that is covered as part of the standard service.